You won't believe what scientists have found after discovering the tomb of the real Santa Claus. This discovery will completely change everything you know about Christmas. In addition, you will also learn shocking facts about Christmas that practically no one knows. Are you ready? Join us and let's dive in. Number 14. The Royal Gift Factory. In Rovaniemi, Finland, there is a place that is like the Silicon Valley of Christmas. Officially recognized as Santa's office, this place is more organized than any tech startup. Located right on the Arctic Circle, you can check it on your GPS. It receives more than 500,000 visitors per year, more than many amusement parks. But the most incredible thing is the postal service. Imagine a call center that answers more than 700,000 letters per year, in dozens of different languages. The employees are trained as if they were secret agents of Christmas. They go through intensive courses in different cultures and Christmas traditions, learn how to answer letters in several languages, and master the art of writing calligraphy that seems magical. The place even has an exclusive postmark that is like a passport to the magical kingdom of Christmas. The letters that leave there have a special seal that does not exist anywhere else in the world. It is like an NFT of Santa Claus, only real. The entire town has been transformed into a Christmas tourist hub, with igloo-shaped hotels, reindeer safaris, and even an elf school. It's literally the place where Christmas happens 365 days a year. Number 13. Santa's first Coca-Cola. Get ready for the most amazing story in Christmas marketing. In 1931, Coca-Cola had an idea that changed Christmas forever. They hired an artist named Haddon Sundblom to create Christmas ads, but the guy went even further. He practically reinvented Santa Claus's look. Before that, the good old man was a bit of a mess. He appeared in green, blue, brown, even purple. Sundblom created that chubby, cheerful Santa Claus with rosy cheeks and ta-da, dressed in Coca-Cola's colors, red and white. It was like when everyone started using iPhones and forgot that other cell phones existed. The design was so popular that it became a worldwide reference. Everyone started copying this style, even in countries that didn't even drink Coca-Cola. The artist didn't stop there. For 33 years, he continued creating Christmas ads for Coca-Cola, each one cooler than the last. People kept the ads as if they were works of art, and today, they are worth a fortune. That's why when someone says Santa Claus, you automatically imagine that little old man in a red suit. Coca-Cola didn't invent Santa Claus, but they gave him such a good makeover that it became a worldwide standard. Number 12. The Christmas marketing boom. The 1840s were like the big bang of Christmas marketing. Stores realized that Santa Claus was better than any influencer to sell their products. Seriously, newspapers started making special Christmas sections that were practically an Instagram of the time, only on paper and with Santa Claus as the main star. Then in 1841, a store in Philadelphia went all out. They put a life-size Santa Claus in the window. It was like the first meet and greet in history with Santa Claus. People went so crazy that they lined up to see him. Soon after, the Salvation Army had a brilliant idea. They dressed some guys up as Santa Claus to raise money for Christmas dinners. This idea was so good that it still sticks today. You know those Santa Clauses with little bells on the street? So that's where it all started. Macy's got in on the trend in 1924 and made history with its exclusive Santa Claus. It was like having a meet and greet with the most famous artist of the moment, except that this artist was Santa Claus himself. I have a question for you. First, I'd like to tell you that it's possible to keep up with the biggest curiosities of our world every day. But for that, you need to be subscribed to our channel. So have you subscribed yet? If not, take the opportunity to subscribe now. Now that you've done that, let's go. Number 11. Origin of the name Santa Claus. Have you ever stopped to think about where the name Santa Claus came from? The story is really interesting. It all started with the Dutch, who called St. Nicholas Sinterklaas, basically a pet name they gave the saint. When these Dutch traveled to America, they took this name with them. And guess what? The people there thought the name was so cool that they started using it too. Over time, Sinterklaas became Santa Claus, and the rest is history. But it doesn't stop there. In 1773, in the United States, something incredible happened. Dutch families started throwing super fun parties to celebrate St. Nicholas Day, and everyone in New York City was curious to know more about this tradition. Soon, stores started creating special decorations with images of the good old man giving out presents, and children completely fell in love with this idea. That's how, little by little, that St. Nicholas from Turkey became the Santa Claus that everyone knows and loves. Number 10. The Letter to Santa Claus. In 1912, a girl named Virginia O'Hanlon shook the world with a letter that became a national craze. She sent a question to the New York Sun newspaper that everyone has been asking. Does Santa Claus really exist? Editor Francis Church responded with such love that the letter became a bigger phenomenon than any internet viral. The U.S. Post Office went crazy over the story and thought, why not create an official address for Santa? And so Operation Santa was born in North Pole, Alaska, like a magical WhatsApp straight to the North Pole. Postal workers became real elves, working overtime just to answer thousands of letters. They even created a special stamp, the kind you can only get if you have a VIP pass. Things got so serious that shopping malls started putting up those little red mailboxes that everyone knows. It was as if they had created a magical portal between the real world and Santa's world. The coolest thing? The program is still running today and has made more dreams come true than all the reality shows combined. Every Christmas, volunteers come together to make sure no letter goes unanswered. It's like a happiness campaign. Number 9. The discovery that changed the history of Christmas. Near the Church of St. Nicholas in Turkey, a group of archaeologists found something that no one expected. A giant tomb made of limestone, almost 2 meters long. But don't worry, this is no ordinary tomb. Scientists are sure that they have found the resting place of the man who inspired the entire story of Santa Claus. The tomb was hidden deep, about 2 meters underground, with a very special lid and a ceiling decorated in the shape of a point. The coolest thing? They found this gem in an old 2-story building, right next to the church courtyard. What's inside this tomb is even more incredible. Scientists are super excited because they may have found not only the tomb, but also several clues about what the life of the real Santa Claus was like. They discovered that the tomb has unique details that only very important people had at that time, which makes perfect sense since we're talking about the guy who inspired one of the greatest legends of all time. Number 8. His bones leak a sweet-smelling liquid. In the ancient city of Myra, now part of Turkey, there's a mind-blowing phenomenon that's been drawing pilgrims for centuries. St. Nicholas's tomb has been doing something wild. It's been leaking a crystal-clear liquid called manna. Get this. This sweet-smelling, colorless liquid keeps oozing from the saint's remains, even after they've moved his body around multiple times. The stuff became such a big deal that the church started bottling it in tiny vials, mixing it with holy water, and giving it out to believers. But here's where it gets really interesting. Even Mozart got caught up in this manna business. The famous composer, desperate for a cure during his final days, actually drank some of this holy liquid. When he didn't get better, he flipped out and became convinced someone had slipped him poison instead of the real deal. That wild theory is still stirring up debates among music and religious folks today. Number 7. Christkind. In Germany and Switzerland, there is a super cool character who shares Santa's duties, the Christkind. While Santa works his magic on Christmas Eve, the Christkind has his own special day to deliver presents. And there's more. There's also the Santa Claus. What a difficult name, huh? Who appears every December 6th, bringing tasty things like tangerines, nuts, and chocolates for children. In the beginning, Christmas in these places was just a religious holiday. But then in the 19th century, it became a huge family celebration. Before, people exchanged presents on different days. Catholics did it on St. Nicholas Day, and Protestants waited until New Year's. Nowadays, all these traditions have mixed together and created a super special celebration that brings together the best of each. Number 6. The Great Confusion of the Sacred Bones. For a long time, everyone thought that the bones of St. Nicholas were in Italy. But this story has an incredible twist. In 1087, a group of merchants said they had taken the saint's bones to the city of Bari, Italy. They stored them in a beautiful church called the Basilica of San Nicola, and for centuries, everyone believed that those were the bones of the real Santa Claus. But here comes the bombshell. Scientists discovered that there may have been a huge mix-up. After studying a lot, they began to suspect that the bones that went to Italy were actually those of another guy, probably an ordinary priest who lived at the same time. Just imagine the mess. There are little pieces of these bones scattered in churches all over the world, and now no one really knows if they are really St. Nicholas's. It's like a detective story, but with super old bones and a pinch of Christmas mystery. Number 5. First miracles in the womb. Back when doctors couldn't do much and faith was everything, there was this woman named Nana who couldn't have kids, or so everyone thought. Against all odds, she got pregnant with a baby who would become St. Nicholas. But wait, it gets better. During her pregnancy, Nana caught this nasty illness that had everyone worried sick. Then, right when the baby was born, boom, she was completely healed. Just like that. No doctor could explain it. Word spread like wildfire as locals started keeping track of all the crazy things happening around this special kid. But here's the twist. Years later, when his parents caught a serious disease, young Nicholas's miracle powers seemed to take a vacation. Both his parents passed away, leaving him an orphan while he was still just a teenager. Number 4. Dead Moros. In Russia, there's a guy who's like a different kind of Santa Claus. Dead Moros, or Grandpa Frost. He's not chubby or wearing a red suit. He's a tall, thin guy who wears a super stylish blue or white robe and has a giant beard. And he doesn't work alone. He has his special helper, Snegoroshka, who's like his granddaughter and is known as the Snow Maiden. They don't use reindeer to travel. They prefer a super carriage pulled by 3 powerful horses. But the most incredible story is that Dead Moros almost disappeared during Stalin's rule. In 1935, when Russia was going through hard times, Stalin had a crazy idea. Instead of getting rid of Dead Moros, he turned him into a symbol of the new year. In the 60s, when everyone was obsessed with the space race, they even put Dead Moros piloting rockets. How could that be, right? Number 2. The Christmas Gnome of Sweden. In Sweden, there is a character who is like a mini Santa Claus, but 1,000 times more interesting. Jultomten. In the past, he was a gnome who lived hidden away in farms and protected everyone. Children, animals, and even crops. But be careful. He had a temper. If someone didn't treat him right or left the house in a mess, he would get angry and do all sorts of mischief. Over time, he became a very beloved Christmas character. Unlike Santa Claus who comes in through the chimney, Jultomten keeps to himself. He knocks on the front door. And do you know what he likes to receive the most? Porridge. That's right. No cookies with milk. If you don't leave him a bowl of porridge, get ready for a year full of mischief. Nowadays, it is very common in Swedish homes for someone in the family to dress up as Jultomten to deliver presents, making the children happy. Number 1. Amu Nowruz. Deep in Iranian culture, there's this awesome character who kicks off springtime. Amu Nowruz. Think of him as the Persian Santa Claus, but with a springtime twist. He shows up for Iranian New Year Nowruz with his musical buddy Haji Firuz. Picture this silver-bearded guy going around spreading joy and giving out presents to celebrate Persian New Year. His sidekick Haji Firuz brings the party vibes, rocking a tambourine and getting kids all excited about the festivities. These two are like the ultimate holiday duo. One's handing out the goods, while the other's getting everyone up and dancing. It's this super cool tradition that keeps the ancient Persian New Year celebration fresh and fun for every generation. Which of these facts shocked you the most? Tell me in the comments below. Now I'm going to recommend in this video that's currently appearing on the screen. Take advantage of it as I've selected it especially for you. Well, that's it, and until next time, Curious One.